Hát itt meg mi történt? I hate reading, or at least I hated reading. Why? Because I was really bad at it. Whenever I started reading, my mind just started to wander and I looked away and I just couldn't concentrate. This week I want to talk about that and how I solved it, and now I love reading and I have a special technique for it. But before I share it, let me read it for a while. Forbes, I just love it. Look at this. This shows all the ingredients, what region, what local region of Balaton they are coming from. I love it. I tried speed reading, but it didn't really work for me. Maybe I was just too lazy to go to a course or get really deep into it. Tim Ferriss has a very good method that I tried out, I practiced it, but it didn't really go that far. So I ended up at audiobooks. The audiobooks are awesome. I can read, I can listen to them while I'm driving or while I'm at the gym, and it saves time for me. I can still concentrate on it and do something else, so it increases my productivity. And it works with most of the books. Thank you. It works with most of the books, but with the most interesting ones that I really want to dig deep, it wasn't enough. Either I read them or listen to them, but then I came up with the idea with a new method, and this is combining hearing, listening, right, seeing, and actually acting on it. So, but basically it means that I listen to the book at the same time while I'm reading it. So this way my mind doesn't wander, I don't take breaks, and I can just go for hours with it. Usually I listen to the book at 2 times the speed while I read the book along. What I found that this provides me with the best basically this provides me with the best productivity ever with that, and still being very efficient. For people who wander, studies show that listening to a book has the same effect as if you were just reading it. I always struggled with reading books, and I felt so ashamed about it because I so wanted to. So when I arrived to listening to them, it was great, but of course it's not the same as reading, but very efficient, and this was like my realization or revelation, if you will. To give you a few perspective, I will list my favorite books and how much time it takes to listen to them on a 2 times speed. Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People, 3.5 hours. Tim Ferriss, The 4-Hour Work Week, 4.2 hours. Oren Clough, Pitch Anything, 3.1 hours. Simon Sinek, Start With Why, 3.6 hours. Richard Branson, Losing My Virginity, 2.7 hours. This means that I could easily read 2 books a day, like read and listen, of course, but holy shit, that's crazy. So do I do that? Of course not. Why don't I do that? To start off with, I get tired. Moreover, I want to digest what I read. I don't want to just skim through it and say that check, I've done it. I want to enjoy it and remember it. So that brings us to my 3rd secret ingredient: highlighting and note-taking. I do highlighting, I do indicators, and of course note-taking. I'm kind of crazy with it, but I just love it. Let me show you how it looks like. Typical, normal pages of a book like this, and it doesn't matter if it's a paperback or it's an ebook. I always have my Evernote either in my phone or iPad or my MacBook, it doesn't matter. I have my Evernote, I have all the stencils and the highlighters and the book. Basically I use two colors, yellow and blue, and underlining with a pencil. So blue means that's super important, that's what the biggest takeaway of the book is for me. Yellow is very important, kind of important, and underlining or just using brackets is for marking the interesting part. The other is indicators. I use many things and I always start with a dot, and I use phrase or say or do, get, Google, and these indicators I can have like a different note just with all the page numbers, or also what the exact thing is that I could copy from the Kindle or from the ebook I'm reading, and I have a separate note for it for things that I want to Google later. But also, since I'm making these little notes within my Evernote or even in the book, whenever I type dot Google, I have all the hits that my Evernote found for that book that I wanted to Google later on. Okay, let me show you how my workspace looks like when I'm reading. And one very important note, this should be fun. When I'm reading, I want to enjoy it. So this way I can get the most out of it. If I want to stop, I just stop. This is a method. Alright, okay, so this is my workplace basically. This is how it looks like. I have all the different markings, the very important parts, the semi-important, and of course I have underlines, which is interesting if I want to read it again. This is the left side, this is while I'm reading. The really cool part, whenever I read something here, I just highlight it and right click and it's already there, and I can decide what kind of highlight or underline I want to use. On the right side I have all my note-taking, for example with Pitch Anything by Oran Clough. This is how my notes look like. I'm able to read and take notes. The third secret ingredient for the note-taking is of course listening to it. So I have the MP3s.
Chapter 4, Pitching Your Big Idea. In 1953, molecular biologist James...
To listen to it on between like 1.75, 2.5, but let's try with a 2 times speed. This is how it looks like, and I use VLC Media Player to do that.
For Pitching Your Big Idea. In 1953, molecular biologist James Watson and Francis Crick introduced the world to the double helix DNA structure. That's the so-called secret of life, and it's widely considered the most important scientific discovery.
And whenever I want to take a break, I just pause the audio part of it, and I organize my thoughts, or I highlight something, I go back, reread it. But this way, and this is the most important takeaway, my mind doesn't wander, I'm focused, I can keep the face, and all my senses are narrowed down just to being immersed within whatever content I'm reading. Okay, this is it. The most important takeaway is that you don't need to rush it or read in a very fast pace. Read in a pace that suits you. Find it out, find that, and immerse in it, enjoy it. For me, it's around 2.5, but at the end of the day, it only matters to you. I've listed a lot of materials on that, how to speed read if you're interested in that, where to get the audiobooks, thoughts on that, subreddits if you want, and also some sources where you can download the books and also audio versions of it. If you like this, I created a short film out of it just to get the most. If you like this, I created a short film with the most important parts. Check that out. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
I've been doing this my whole life. I've been balling out my whole life, and I know it's time, 'cause I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Ready to
to go. All of my friends have been telling me, bro, it's time that you blow. I know